Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a building site. This video is part of a series in which I show you how to make a suburban house in various levels of construction, starting with the foundation, then the first floor, second floor, and finally a completed house up for sale. Each phase of the house has a complementary construction vehicle, and throughout each video I will also show you how you can further customize these builds so that we can reuse them throughout our cities. In this video, part 1, I will show you how to make the foundation and a cement truck. Fun fact, I was hidden somewhere in the intro of this video. Let me know if, where, when, and how you spotted me. This is the amount of space required to make the build, a 16 block wide by 31 block area, as represented by this handy grid, which I would recommend that you build in your world. To find the starting position, we count inwards 8 blocks from the front left hand corner of the grid, extending backwards, and then 3 blocks to the right. That's where we start. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all of these. Begin the build by digging 12 rows to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then dig 12 rows backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Dig all the way across, and then join all the way back to where we first started. We can then remove all of the grass in between. We then want to remove 2 additional layers of grass / dirt / whatever is inside this big empty space. Next, we are going to place a layer of grey concrete at the base of our hole. Next, we are going to place rows of terracotta to form a grid. So, to do this, we will count from the front left-hand corner, 1, 2, 3, 4, place a red terracotta. And then we will leave a gap of the same, starting from the front right corner, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we will place a red terracotta. We will extend these terracottas backwards towards the back of our hole like this. And now we have to place some going the other way as well. So we will, starting from the corner but facing the other way, count 1, 2, 3, 4, red terracotta, and we'll do the same here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, red terracotta. And it is asymmetrical, so it's up to you. You can bring these in an additional row like this, so they are a bit tighter, or you can keep them out. I think that I'm going to keep them a bit tighter like this, and then I'm just going to extend them across. And what we'll eventually have is just a giant hash symbol, pretty much. It's at this point in the build that if you were making multiples of the building site, that you could actually stop here and this looks good. Not only that, a further way to customize this, which would look really cool, is to add the excavator next to the hole. Next, we are going to add a layer of stone extending all the way around the inside of our hole. And then we are going to add another layer of stone on top. I'm not sure this makes the most sense, but I do then like to add a layer of stone slab on top of this as well, just so that it kind of further stands out. But there's not really a logical reason for this, I just happen to think that it kind of looks a little bit better. However, if you are making a concrete truck, then you would want to remove the side of these slabs that the concrete truck is going to back up onto. And I also like to replace the stone on that side for light grey concrete for some reason. I don't know why I do the things that I do. Speaking of the concrete truck, it's time to make it. I am building mine so that it is backed up into the foundation and is ready to pour concrete. So I'm going to place here in this position or here, it doesn't matter which, it's whichever you prefer, it's either here or here. We will want to place a polished black stone slab, and that is going to be the center of the back of the vehicle. We will extend the slab left and right like this, and then we will place 2 black concrete extending in from both ends, 1, 2, 1, 2. We will then place an iron trapdoor extending in from both ends, followed by a polished black stone slab, then another black concrete, and then a smooth stone slab, black concrete, another smooth stone slab, like this. We will then connect the front part of the vehicle together using smooth stone slabs until we get to these wheels, and then we are going to place polished black stone slab here and here in between these wheels, and then I think that we will leave this, as a matter of fact we'll connect it together with a trapdoor just for continuity like this. Then we are going to place a blast furnace up front and center at the front of the vehicle with smooth quartz block either side, a stone stair behind the blast furnace, smooth quartz blocks extending around the stair. We'll add a row of smooth quartz along the back and black stained glass along the rest of the front of the cab, and then smooth quartz slabs across the top of this to form a roof. Then we will place tripwire hooks here with acacia buttons here and glow item frames here, and the same just on the opposite side as well. And then we will place stone buttons on the sides of each one of the black concrete wheels. We can add a license plate here in the form of an acacia sign, and you can kind of just make it whatever you want. Concrete 1, I think, is a solid number plate. Then, just moving to the back of the truck, we are going to add glow item frames extending off of the back 2 corners with red concrete inside of the item frames. We also want to add a row of polished black stone slab here just behind the cab of the truck, extend this middle block up, and then add an anvil here, just like so. Next, we are going to grab orange terracotta and place a row of 3 here from the trapdoor to the back wheel. And we will extend up by 2 rows, just like this. We will then extend the bottom row across to the opposite side of the truck, and then up and join across. Next, on both sides, we will place a smooth red sandstone here in the middle of each one of the sides like so. And we just want to plug that hole there. We will then place stairs in each one of the 4 corners to kind of make a circular shape. And we will do this on both sides of the mixing truck, just like this. Then we will add a hopper here, iron trapdoor here, button here, lever here. Something cool that we can do with the cement truck is add scaffolding to the side here so that we can climb up and onto our trapdoor. Now we are actually able to operate the truck, and we can give the appearance that we are actually pouring concrete into the foundation. So the way that I'm doing this is by adding some andesite slabs inside of the truck, pouring out into the hopper, which you can leave like this, or maybe even add a light grey carpet on top of. I'm not sure which I prefer better. But underneath the hopper, we can add an andesite wall like this. I'm not sure if we can actually adjust the hopper so that it feeds into the wall rather than the truck itself. And then underneath this, it's completely up to you how to do this, but you can give the appearance that we are pouring concrete by using concrete powder like this, and we can have it actually flow from the hopper like this, so that it looks like it is being poured directly into here. And maybe we could have it seem as though that we have kind of like a gradation. So what I mean by that, right, is we can have like a series of powder like this, so kind of in a semicircle pattern, maybe something like this. And then we can add some slabs. So as the concrete kind of like gets dispersed out, I know that these are different colors, so I'm not sure that this is the best way to do this, but I do think it actually looks cool. So we can make it seem as though that the concrete is actually like dispersing out, and we can add some light grey carpet. So what this is meant to look like, I don't know whether it does or not. It's meant to look as though that the concrete is actually flowing from the truck and it is slowly filling up this hole, starting with here. But I don't think that looks too bad whatsoever. Next, I'm just going to add a chain link fence around what we've made. So leaving a gap of 3 from the start, 1, 2, 3. I'm then going to dig and remove the grids. And I'm going to dig back this way and stop in the same position, so 1, 2, 3 here. And I'm using andesite underneath the chain link fence, but you can use whatever you want, whether that's stone, light grey concrete. Some sort of grey block is really what we're looking for. I realise that we've used andesite for the foundation as well, but... And then on top of the stone block of choice, we are then just going to stack 2 rows of iron bars. Now, these aren't even necessary. We don't necessarily need to add a fence around this, but I think that it does just make sense too. There we go. I do think that looks a little bit better. Now, just as I was building this, I was wondering if the foundation might look a little bit better, as the concrete was dispersing out if we removed. I think that actually makes it look a little bit better, and one might even be able to argue that we could remove these as well and place the slab there, but that might have actually added to the effect. I actually think it looked better like this, like it is slowly getting covered up. So that's what I would do if you did want to make it seem as though concrete was being poured. At this point, you could very well consider the building site complete. However, let me show you how to add a few random bits of detail that may or may not improve it for you. And do feel free to place these anywhere, not specifically where I am. It would make sense if we had a stack of bricks somewhere on the building site. A 2x2 block would do, but you could also, of course, make it higher and higher and higher. I always think that empty pallets look good in builds like these, which are made by combining some campfires together and then extinguishing the flames, either in rows of 2x3 or maybe even just another 2x2 like this. The back of the build is large enough so that we can add some lumber in the form of 3 rows of oak planks, or any wood really, with an additional row at the top. And then we can extend some rails across both ends like this to make them seem as though that they are strapped down and together. And not only that, a workbench is good in combination with this as well. So this would be a crafting table with a spruce trapdoor next to it, stone cutter on top, and then we can just flip up a spruce trapdoor like this. And of course, just random chests everywhere always makes sense. I think another cool and appropriate build is a small cement mixer. So this is one that you would operate by hand rather than the giant truck over there. We can start with an orange concrete block with an acacia fence gate attached to it, polished black stone buttons on the sides, and then just an item frame on top, and it kind of looks like a cement mixer. And then just next to it, we would need a cauldron with some water, and an item frame with an iron shovel, and maybe just a flower pot off to the side. I would also like it if we had some like bags of cement, but I don't really know what best looks like a bag that we can like stack on the floor. So maybe like this calcite block kind of looks like a bag, and maybe we can just put like cement mix on the bag or something like it. Is that too on the nose? I don't know, you guys can let me know. But maybe we can also stack some just polished diorite slabs around as well, just to make it seem as though that we've just got a bunch of bags, maybe. Last thing, it would make sense if we roughed up the area. So if you have grass like I do, anywhere that people would be walking and doing things, the grass probably wouldn't stay grass for long, so you might want to just add some coarse dirt just so that it kind of like makes sense, especially like where the truck is going. Like there probably wouldn't be any grass after this. I don't know how many ton truck has been there, but like around anywhere that we would have any of this stuff, and maybe even like up here, you know, something like that, just kind of like rough the place up a little bit. And at this point in time, I would be very happy to say that phase 1 is complete. Remember that this house was built as part of a series. Whilst not required, I would heavily recommend building each part of the house next to each other, as not only does it visually look quite cool this way, I feel as though it also tells a bit of a story. You can find links to each phase of the build down below in the description, in the order that I would suggest building them in. I have also made separate tutorials for each vehicle as well. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.